Welcome to another lecture of pharmaceutical jurisprudence. In our last lecture, we studied about part 1E of schedule M, and today we'll be studying the last subdivision of part 1, that is part 1F. So part 1F basically has specific requirements of premises and of materials which are used for the manufacture of bulk drugs. So let's start. Now the first point is that for the manufacture of substances which are hazardous, or for the manufacture of substances, for example beta-lactam antibiotics, of steroids and of steroidal hormones, there has to be separate confined space so that the other products which are being manufactured simultaneously in that particular vicinity are not contaminated. Then the next point is that the final stage of the preparation of any drug product, like the process of isolation, the process of filtration, drying, sieving, packing, they should be provided with suitable air filtration system. Then the ancillary area, which is a very basic requirement in a manufacturing unit, that should be provided with a boiler house. Then for specific preparations like the manufacture of sterile products which are to be done in aseptic condition, separate closed area should be there. Means like the vacuum and gas storage vessels, like heat exchangers, they all should be properly calibrated, they should be properly cleaned, should be properly sanitized and maintained at appropriate interval of time. Equipments which are to be used should be of appropriate size and appropriate design. Then if the equipment is used for different intermediates and active pharmaceutical ingredient, proper cleaning is required so that the product is not contaminated. This is basically done to avoid cross contamination or mix up. Now we know that equipments have to be cleaned and equipments have to be maintained in a pharmaceutical industry. So a written procedure for the cleaning and a written procedure for the maintenance should be there, and whoever is cleaning that particular instrument, whoever has been assigned the duty of cleaning that particular instrument, he or she should follow that particular written procedure. Then in a large manufacturing unit, many a times what happens, a single equipment is used for the manufacture of multiple drug products. So if you are manufacturing or you are using a particular drug product in a particular equipment, then before using another drug product in the same equipment, you should properly clean the particular equipment so that the drug products, they are not contaminated, or there is a lesser chance of mix up. Then all the containers and all the closures which are used, they should comply to the pharmacopoeial standard, the standards which are stated in the pharmacopoeia. Then the drug product containers, they should be tested and re-examined at a regular interval of time, and they should be further approved or rejected depending upon the outcome of the results. And approved and rejected containers and closures should be properly and clearly identified. Then bulk containers and closures should be properly cleaned, and a record of their cleaning should also be maintained. Then the containers which are used for the purpose, they should be marked with the name of the product and certain other additional information. They should mark the quantity and standard of that particular drug product. They should mention the manufacturing license number. Then they should mention the date of manufacture as well as the date of expiry of that particular drug product. They should mention the method for container disposal. Then they should mention the storage condition in which the container should be stored. For example, you must have seen that in many drug products, in many containers, it is mentioned that store in a cool place. So all these specifications should be mentioned. So thank you so much, dear students. This was all in today's lecture. Today we have completed with the first part of schedule M, and in our next lecture we will be starting with the second part of schedule M. And if you have any doubts, any queries in today's lecture, please feel free to contact me. I am always there to solve your problems, and thank you so much once again. Thank you.